Hello. Exactly 1 year ago, we drove through here on this street, on this road, parked at the front of this house, and we got out of a car. We drove from um, Fiumicino Airport in Rome right here into Umbria near Acquasparta, and we both took a deep breath after a 16-hour adventure, the flight plus the transfers. And Kasia said, my wife said that it feels like we got home. And it's true, we found our home exactly a year ago. It's funny because yesterday I recorded another video saying a year ago, something happened a year ago, because we have two anniversaries. 1 year anniversary of leaving Canada on April 4th and 1 year anniversary of arriving to Italy on April 5th, arriving into this beautiful home at the foothills of the mountains on a wide gravel road. How dreamy and how typical for a lot of dreams of anyone that wants to move to Europe and Italy. So yesterday I recorded a video. I'll try to post a link if I figured out how to do this, about 10 things that I miss from Canada and few that I don't. And today I will celebrate the top 10 things that I enjoyed the most in Italy during the first year. And then as I was writing it, I actually wrote 12. So it'll be 10 plus 2 bonus things that came to my mind this morning as I was reflecting. And I recorded a daily video for the entire first year, what I call the Moments of Zen. This is in some ways a summary of that. Oh, by the way, the videos are available on my YouTube channel. You're welcome to search for it, and perhaps you find something enjoyable. But here, what we have is top 10 plus 2 things that were the most notable in the first year. The one that didn't make it to the list is the birds. You can hear them. You'll hear them throughout this walk. For sure. These are not in a particular order, just as they came to me and as I was writing them. So number one, and that's actually number one is likely the number one. The fact that we found not only a home where, you know, your home is where your heart is, and our heart certainly is in the house we just left. We got so lucky, and luck for me and Kasia is not really in a traditional sense that it happens or not. We actually created this perfect house with perfect hosts, the owners that are renting the house, and recently we extended our rental agreement virtually indefinitely. We signed up at 4 plus 4, 4 years plus additional 4. You know, in 8 years, if we stay here, and I wouldn't be surprised if we stay here, because this is paradise. To me, it is truly a paradise. And the fact that we found this this home, look at this, the grass is as tall as me here. And this is the beginning of April. Quite a sight for someone that spent the last 40 years in Canada. So the home takes the prize because it's a beautiful home. It's a 4-bedroom, renovated Tuscan style, Umbrian style farmhouse with modern everything, air conditioning, double glazed windows, heated floors. It was fully furnished. We got a few, a few extra things, but it was a moved-in condition. And by the way, the air conditioning was something we're searching, and turned out to be such a relief in a first summer that was so hot, approaching 40 degrees in August. Number one, home. Okay, switching immediately to pizza. Number two thing that we enjoyed in Italy was pizza. We found many places, most of them family run, but the one we enjoyed the most is a little pizza place in Acqua Sparta, run likely by a husband and wife, and the pizza is sold in not in triangles but in squares. That's how I remember my favorite pizza from 40 years ago when I lived here in Rome. So, pizza number two. And my favorite pizza is margherita, just tomato sauce and thin crust, crunchy pizza. Number three is the music. The music has been a theme of our stay here in Italy. When we were searching for an area to settle, we're here the year prior in the summer. There were what I call the musical artistic clues in various towns. If we heard some music, whether that was live performer or some music trickling through from a window, or a concert, it was always an indication that we are in the right place, because the music was always captivating and capturing our hearts. Montepulciano had this amazing pianist practicing for an upcoming concert, and the music just, it was just perfectly fitting into this medieval town without any amplification, just some artists practicing for a concert. But we saw two concerts recently that I posted some of that information on the Moments of Zen, and one of we'll see this church in a moment when I make a right turn. One of them was in a tiny church near Porteria, where we had 4 singers singing a cappella, Gregorian chants and other religious music. Of course, Ave Maria. And it was tugging on my heart to the point that I had tears. It was so beautiful. And a bit later, I think a week or two later, we saw, Porteria is coming up. I'll pause in a second. We also saw 3 beautiful young ladies singing in Acqua Sparta. Let's see. So it is hard to see, even for me. I think it's right here. You see a medieval town of Porteria. That's where the church was, or is. And the first concert, the second concert, was in Acqua Sparta. So music, incredible experience, and worth coming to Italy just for those couple of concerts. Number 4, that thing was also worth coming to Italy for. The art that shows in unusual places, but this one is so fresh because we were there just yesterday at Galleria Borghese, where we saw some sculptures, and I have never had an art experience like this. The Galleria Borghese is, comparing to Vatican, that is more of a tourist mass processing. You walk quickly, you can't really come close to certain artifacts. Galleria Borghese has this intimate feeling that you can put your nose right to the painting and see the paint stroke. Caravaggio, Tiziano, I believe it's pronounced. But the sculptures by Bernini, again, you can touch it. You come so close to it. It's so expressive. That was gives me chills to see art created 500 years ago with such a passion by people that were young, 28 years old. I think Bernini was 20 years old when he created a few of the masterpieces displayed here. He started carving at age 8. Okay, so he had 20 years experience, except he was only 20 years old. Oh yes, Siena, magnificent, divine Duomo. You find these places. The church is visible behind me, but you have to zoom in. I don't think that I can. So number 5, the history. Many people say, and I agree, living in Italy is like living in an outdoor museum. You already paid the access by flying in. There's so many things that you can see here just by walking around the medieval towns. We drove to Pescara, a Adriatic Sea side town, 2.5 hours drive from our home, and on the way there we saw probably 20 or 30 medieval towns, typically perched on a hilltop or along the edge, and we felt like going to every one of them. So there was a lifetime of exploration. On hills and nature, like you see behind me. We came here in search of adventure, and adventure is calling us to all of those places. Number 6, the language. I love Italian language. It sounds great. It's easy to, even if you don't know the language, you can understand individual words. They somehow feel natural. Then you have to find the way to translate them. But some languages, they just flow, and you don't even know where individual words change. They're just so hard to decode. I remember I always had this impression. I learned basic Italian in my early 20s when I lived here, and now I'm improving on it to the point that I love listening to Italian music on the radio, and I can understand what they sing about. I have trouble understanding English lyrics after 40 years of living in Canada. In Italy, that comes much more naturally to me. We watch Italian TV with Kasia to improve our Italian, and we both laugh at the same spot, so that means we both understand the language enough. But communicating with Italians is also easy. They're very gracious. They never raise an eyebrow and interrogate you. Where are you from? How come you speak Italian so poorly, or you don't speak Italian well? And they just go with the flow. It's just normal. You talk and they talk back. I came up with this statement after a few initial interactions at different places where I had to get our ID card and medical insurance, and every time I interacted with someone, I got more and more confidence that I can talk to anyone. So I told Kasia, that my Italian is either perfect or Italians don't care, but I can communicate in Italian with anyone, anywhere, on any subject, at any time. And it's been really true. Ooh, number 7. Woohoo! Fashion. I love Italian fashion. I love men's Italian fashion. I didn't expect that. My wife is very fashion conscious. She dresses with incredible style and grace. And she would occasionally prod me to dress a little better in Canada. But there was no inspiration because very few men would care. Here, you are not only inspired, you're challenged by that, because obviously it's self-imposed, but I accepted the challenge. I love the fact that I've improved my wardrobe significantly. I keep looking at how Italian men present themselves with casual grace and elegance, style. My friend Annika, our new friend, that lives nearby, a Swedish long-term resident of Italy, said once when I commented about fashion, she said, "Oh yeah, for men, the clothing or fashion is more important than their wives." That was funny. I don't know if it's true, but there are sometimes more boutiques with men's clothing than women's clothing on some streets. And it's surprisingly affordable. I always thought that Italian clothing would be high-end, high pricing. Certainly, maybe it's not Italian made, but it is well priced. Let me put it this way: it's well priced, within the reach of likely most people here. Number 8, the weather. We arrived here April 5th, 2024, and I think it was 19 or 20 degrees. The next day was 22 degrees. Sunny, beautiful day. And we left Canada with an inch of snow and -2 Celsius. So we spent our first winter here without snow. Sorry, I'm looking, just wanted to see if I can find the wild asparagus that I often pick during my walk, but let me focus on the mission to record this video and finish this. Weather, I love the weather year-round, including super hot summers. Kasia is not a fan of that month, typically around August, that it's in the high 30s, and boy, is that hot. But I love this. I loved it. The fact that we had air-conditioned house certainly helped, but I spent a lot of time sitting on the porch in the shade and just saying, wow, bring it on, bring it on. I love it. Almost there. Stay with me. Number 9, wine. Everywhere, best wine, mostly Umbrian. So I live in Umbria. If you go to a wine store, any store, and you look at the wine aisle, let's say that there are 300 varieties. 299 will be from Umbria. Exaggerating, but I don't think I've ever seen a non-Italian wine, and I don't think that I even seen a non-Umbrian wine at all. Then if you switch to alcohol, distilled alcohol, yes, then you find gin and whiskey, but very small quantity. But you still find a lot of grappa and what else? They have the Italian bitters. Yeah, they're just incredible tradition of supporting and loving local products. Number 10, which I thought that would take the prize and that would be the top one, but then I came up with two more, so stay with me. Number 10 is, actually, you know what? Number 10 will be at my favorite spot, because it's quite significant for me and I'm very grateful for it. So I want to display even better background. You see in a moment, well, you see the background, but when you hear the story, it will even have more meaning. For those who are still here, 20 minutes into the video. Okay, so this is the perfect background. My favorite house here, and Porteria there, and the hills and the rising sun. I love this spot, and the reason I wanted to have this background is to express my gratitude for Italian healthcare. So, number 10 or number 1 is the healthcare that saved my life. Big thank you for that. I nearly died during the first year. In the middle of the night on the weekend, my appendix ruptured. I didn't know what it was. I passed out, getting out, go to the bathroom. I passed out. I hit the floor with my face, broke my nose, and had a huge bruise. And I had pain in my abdomen. Went to the hospital in the middle of the night, and there is video recording this, so I won't go into details, but they operated on me within a few hours, patched me up. I spent there a week with the most beautiful, wonderful, I call them angels that looked after me. The nurses, both male and female. Such a huge debt of gratitude to Italy. I'm blown away by the efficiency of the system and the human face of a medical machine that doesn't always have that human face. You know, a doctor passing by and just, squeezing my foot. Hey, you okay? Just keeps walking, you know. Or during the soccer games, I think it was the Euro Cup, he came to me and showed me the score. He knew I was from Poland. It says, hey, look, Poland scored a goal. He shows me the score, and then he just walks away. Overworked, likely tired doctor that entertains himself by just reading the news, and then knowing that here's this kid, quote-unquote kid, out of his element, out of his country, and he wanted to cheer me up, saying, hey, your team has scored a goal. That was good. Really heartwarming, and I have goosebumps just thinking about this experience. It was one of the best experiences of my life, even though I nearly died. How is that? All right, so that was the top 10. And now we're moving on to bonus round. 11 or 10 plus 1, and there's one more. There's one more, okay? And now that plus 2 is very significant too. So the plus 1 is our cat. Our cat that we brought from Canada, Mousy. Hold on for a second. Ah, my hand is getting tired. I need to switch. Our cat is the favorite thing in Italy. How is that possible? Well, listen to the story. We packed this cat in the tiny carrier and kept this cat there for 16 hours, door to door, traveling from Toronto, outside of Toronto, to Rome, and then into the car and driving. Her name is Mousy. She survived that, and she was shell-shocked. Just too many sounds, too many people and smells, and she Um, she went to our new home, somehow found our bed. There were 4. Crawled under the cover, the comforter, in complete darkness. She probably wanted to shut off her ears ringing. And she slept there for a few hours. Then the first day or two, she cautiously walked around with us. We kept her on a leash, just out of maybe excessive caution. On the 3rd day, we let her go. And she embraced this country like her own immediately. She goes in and out. She loves that. She does little sprints around. She chases, what do you call them? I forgot what they're called. You know, not the mice, but little creatures that, anyway, she chases animals, creatures that live in our backyard. Lizards. She catches them and lets them go. And the fact that she's enjoying it as much as we do is such a heartwarming thing that the whole family, all 3 of us, love it in here. And number 12, last one on the list, putting the list into my pocket, no longer needed, is, you got it. I think you can guess it. Can you? What do you think? It's the Italian people. I think that most of us living anywhere in the world, and you know, I'm recording this in English for my English-speaking friends and followers. We all met some Italians, right? Yeah. And they live everywhere around the world. Yeah. In Canada, we've met many Italians. In fact, we had many Italian friends. But Italians here in their land win. I don't know where to start. Maybe we'll just put this view on finishing the video. Everywhere we go, we find smiles, cheers, kindness, and good heart. You know that cashiers and the cashiers of the local coconut store and the owner and the manager, the ladies behind the counter selling or serving hot food, the deli food, they're all the nicest, kindest people I can think of. Always smiling, genuine, always trying to help or suggest something. Beautiful people in their own land, proud of it. And I would like to thank all Italians that we interacted with to allow us to be guests in this beautiful country, in your home, and allowing us to share it and enjoy it. I'll show only half heart because the other hand is holding the selfie stick, so maybe I'll just do this from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, Italy. Thank you, Italians. Thank you, God. Thank you, universe, for bringing us here to what I consider the best place in the world, and I wish everyone a great day. Love you all, Italian or not. To be continued. There will be more videos recorded. Feel free to check it once in a while. All right, that's it. Thumbs out. 1 year in. mission accomplished. Bye.